Welcome back to Tim and Sid. I am Tim McCall. That is Sid Sixero, and we have a newcomer who's actually old school with us, Nick Kypreos, joining us in the studio.
Disappeared for a little bit. 2 months.
A little rest and relaxation.
Yeah, but I like coming in here.
We like having you in. Yeah. We missed you. We missed your laugh, Mr. Scent.
I don't know about that.
So interesting-ish weekend, right? Big picture.
Quiet Friday night, and then we get.
Which I got suckered into again. Every year I get suckered into the quiet Friday night because I expect fireworks on a Friday.
Happened on Saturday.
I know. I'm kept saying I got mad. And then Saturday's the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, it is because everyone wants to sleep on it one last time. And this one had a different feel because of the salary cap set at 81.5. I think if we go to last December, a Board of Governors meeting that we covered, there was some speculation from the league, Gary Bettman, that the cap could be up as high as 83 and a half. That didn't happen, and everybody acted accordingly. And when you're a little scared or nervous, you do nothing. Yeah. And many teams did nothing.
Right. The one team that did something were Nashville Predators, and we were under the assumption that the deal PK Subban leads them to Matt Duchene. There's so many interesting parallels on the money being freed up, what you have to pay to free up your money these days.
It's expensive.
It is expensive. But did Tampa just pull off?
I don't know. And I'm okay with TJ Miller.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why Vancouver paid such a big price.
Right.
Right?
I don't mind JT Miller either, but it's like
I'm doing you a favor here. We know Tampa Bay needed to get rid of TJ Miller's contract. We'll be happy to take it, but I'm not giving up anything significant.
Quit flipping his initials on him, okay?
Right?
JT,
sorry. TJ.
JT.
I'm still on West Coast time right now. Yeah, thanks for that, Tim. And that's the bottom line here. And if we look at Kyle Dubas over the weekend, yeah, people are looking at a first-round pick. You assume that it's going to fall into 20 to 30. I didn't think it was that heavy of a pick to unload something that you had to unload. And then you factor in that there's a lot of speculation that Janssen and Kapanen will get new deals at around $4 million or under $4 million on 3- and 4-year deals.
Which is basically the Marleau money. Marleau money.
I think Kyle did actually pretty well over the weekend. If he can get those two guys signed without the threat of an offer sheet coming in and driving their price up to around $5 million, I think the Leafs did okay.
Are we going to get to the point where Mitch Marner and company on Wednesday are going to start talking to teams? Is that a foregone conclusion?
It's a foregone conclusion. All the experience, I would say, over my years of covering this time of year, 85% of those deals are pretty much done prior, whether we want to say agreed in principle or what. But a lot of people know where everything's heading pretty much now. So if it means Mitch Marner physically gets on a plane to go somewhere, or physically teams come to Toronto to visit him, whether it's over conference calls, whether a video is sent, hey, do it any way you want. But the talk is going on, and in some cases, I'm sure agreements have already been made.
So over the weekend, just to try and take people into the inside experience that you have, is there like a last-second push from Kyle Dubas? How does that work within the framework of an agent and a GM?
I would hope for Kyle Dubas. We still probably haven't heard his best offer to Mitch if he wants to take one last kick at the can. But the words that he had in Vancouver is we have a window, a framework of where we want to go, and if it goes over the top, we may not match that offer, and then you could take your picks. So I would hope that they haven't given Mitch Marner and his agent Darren Ferris their last best offer, but we are all under the assumption that that 8-year deal that you're hoping to get isn't happening. And again, you can go back to Kyle setting the parameters up on Matthews' 5-year deal while making him the second highest paid player in the league. Right. What's supposed to happen is every time those numbers off 8 years comes down, the AAV is supposed to come down.
Right.
That's the way the bridge deals have been working. Supposed to.
Right.
So not only does he get the 5-year deal, but he gets the perfect AAV. And not just Mitch Marner, but there's others sitting there going, oh, I don't want to go 8 years. I don't want to drive that new car off the lot and find out it depreciated $7,000 as I take the back wheels off the last curb. So that's the way the guys are thinking right now.
Right.
Is that I'm in on 5. You know what, Kyle? Mitch Marner's saying, let's start with the parameters around Matthews' contract and go from there.
Right.
So I'll look at 5, but I'm not going 8.
This organization can't have Marner and Matthews come up again at the same time.
If you want to keep them, Sid, you may have to.
Yeah.
You may have to. If you want to try to win the cup,
too, right?
If you want to try to win the cup in the next 2 or 3 years,
Okay, under the guys,
and
under
keep
that guys, yes,
keep the
I'm with
band
you.
going
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Like we just watched the Raptors roll the dice on Leonard, knowing that it's just one and done.
Right.
They hit the home run, and in a perfect world, now at least you give them something to think about moving forward. Hey, not a bad place to play. Really like the attention, like the people. My wife's happy, whatever. You have a chance. Do the same thing with Marner. Give him 5 years. And hopefully you win a championship between then. And he wants to come back. He's rooted deep. But right now, he's one of the few guys, and if we hear about Kapanen and Jansson's deal, they bought into the, hey, we've got to take a little less to win.
Yeah.
This guy wants market value. I'm focusing on market value right now, and I don't blame him.
This might be the best group of RFAs that we have seen, and maybe as we go forward that we might see in a long time. After years.
Go back to Marner's draft.
Right.
Go back to that draft, and we're talking about maybe one of the better drafts in NHL history.
Yeah.
And on any other year, Marner, with what he did, over his junior career, could have been knocking on the door first overall pick.
So after years of talking sheet, are we going to see multiple offer sheets?
I have been in the camp, and we've talked about, the only reason why we started talking about this as early as November, December, when people were looking at us like we had 3 heads, was that because that was the talk behind the scenes. That's the talk amongst agents and general managers, scouts, you name it, the players, is this is the year that the offer sheet comes into play because of the cap and the squeeze on teams and understanding the dynamic of teams being painted in the corner and not being able to match. Mm-hmm. And, Kyle Dubas was singing a different tune 3 months ago.
Right.
Yep.
We're giggling, we'll just match anything. And then he kind of figured it out. We can't really match anything.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, we may not. So he understands it now. The fans understand it, and it's in play. It's in play. So I would hope that teams are smart enough to say, I can take my team to another level. I just got to show the stones to throw one of these things out there.
Right.
And in saying that, we can also be in a position to sit there and say, general managers, agents, coaches, players, we're all talking about it. But what about the guy that actually has to stroke the check, the owner?
What about the guy?
Right?
Yeah,
so you could sell anything you want underneath, but once it lands on the desk of the guy that actually has to pay the bills, where does he stand? Where does he stand with his fellow partner that he sits at a board of governors meeting?
You're going to make some enemies.
Right?
You are going to make some enemies.
Am I willing to do that?
Yeah.
So that's another dynamic here. Talk about it all you want. Where's the guy that has to actually stroke the check and look at his board of governor, who is his partner in a league, and say, hey, sorry, we're just doing business.
Yeah.
Good to see you, bro.
All right, boys.
Nick Kypreos.
All right.
I'm going to wave because
This is going to be an interesting week. It's a long walk for Cal. He's not young anymore.
Oh, my gosh. How many get up? How many guests do you have that actually Tim would get up and hug?
Honestly, I swear to God, everyone.
Oh.